I guess we should finally talk about Zenless Zone Zero, huh? I am very excited to do this video. New Eridu. I want to make 2 cocktails that you can find at any bar in the city. And so this is the 6th Street. What do you want? You want a Bangboo? I wanted to do Ben Bigger. Woo! If I could bite into one of those little robot bunnies. And I guess we should address the wolf in the room. So why don't we start by taking a walk down 6th Street. Well, would you look at the time? I know I've been teasing it, I've been acting very excited, and in truth, I really am. So, I guess we should finally talk about Zenless Zone Zero, huh? That's right, I am very excited to do this video. I have been stoked for Zenless Zone Zero since the first time it got announced. I am a sucker for melee combat like Devil May Cry. I am a sucker for that hip-hop, pop, cyberpunk aesthetic of Jet Set Radio. I am a sucker for all of those character designs. Zenless Zone Zero found the exact hyper-specific Venn diagram overlap that I live in, and I can't wait any longer, so I have to make a video about it to satiate my hunger. The game isn't out yet. I didn't get into the beta. I've been trying to keep myself mostly spoiler-free, only really looking at things that aren't going to tell me much about the game. And so I reached this impasse where I can't do character drinks because I don't know enough about them outside of their designs to really base anything off of them. But also because I'm trying to kind of stay out of the loop enough that I don't get spoiled on too much. I don't know what else in the game I can base the drinks on. And so I decided to do neither. Instead, I want to make drinks based on the vibe, the city itself, New Eridu. I want to make 2 cocktails that you can find at any bar in the city, local staples that match the vibe and aesthetic of the game and match its colorful urban fantasy style. And I think we've got it. I mean, I wouldn't be making this video if I didn't think they were good, so. And I guess we should address the wolf in the room. Yes, I know the vest does not match the pants. Dillard's didn't have a dark enough gray vest, and this one already fit the Gallagher outfit, so I'm just reusing it for this one. Thus, I am cursed to say, 10,000 likes on this video, and I'll do the full Von Lycan cosplay. Why do I keep doing this? And I'd like to make it clear, I wanted to do Ben Bigger. I love him, but a certain birdie told me that I should do Von Lycan instead for you all, the fans, because I've seen the comments you have about Von Lycan, and they're more than a little concerning. So if you all want to see that properly, it's entirely on you. I'm not doing that of my own accord. Alright, that's enough of that. We need to get started because it is like 95 outside today, so turning the AC off and wearing a heavy wool scarf to get this look right is not a fun time. So why don't we start by taking a walk down 6th Street. Alright, now as I said, my main idea with this video was to try and match the aesthetic of New Eridu. Try to find drinks that I think would fit naturally into this world and that you could easily see someone in this city drinking. Now Zenless Zone Zero describes itself as urban fantasy. And yeah, sure, I get that. But clearly it also takes heavy inspiration from games like Jet Set Radio, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, even Splatoon has the same kind of vibe. With that many games, I feel like we need to start finding a name for this aesthetic. When I'm drunk at the end of the video, I'll probably do that. But for right now, I'm gonna try and refrain. But in short, the inspiration for this drink came from that urban element and hip-hop. Now, New Eridu takes inspiration from a lot of modern urban environments, but when it comes to hip-hop, breaking, tagging, all of these things, you cannot deny that New York City has to be a massive influence on all of these games in this aesthetic genre. And so when it came to making a drink for New Eridu itself, it only felt natural to go with a take on the Long Island iced tea. And so this is the 6th Street. And I mean, come on, New Eridu, 6th Street. I mean, what's more American than having a city set up so that you can name your streets after numbers? I'm just saying, I think it's kind of undeniable the weight of America on this game's aesthetics. Fill a glass with ice. Also, yes, I'm using a Joe's Crab Shack glass. What else are you gonna serve a Long Island iced tea in? The Long Island iced tea is actually a fairly simple thing to make. It just requires a lot of ingredients. But for the most part, as you're about to see, all the measurements are about the same. You don't need to shake it, blend it, strain it, anything like that. If you have a glass, a spoon, and a bunch of liquor, you can make this one happen pretty easily. We're going to start with 3/4 of an ounce of vodka, 3/4 of an ounce of white rum, 3/4 of an ounce of silver tequila, 3/4 of an ounce of gin, 3/4 of an ounce of triple sec, and this is where things get a little different from a typical Long Island iced tea. Now normally you would do 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup, 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice, and top the rest with cola. But we're in New Era Dew. So we still have the sweetness and a similar color. We're busting back out the Mexican Coca-Cola syrup. For those of you who missed that video, A, you should go watch it. B, I bought a few bottles of Mexican Coca-Cola. That's what we call it here in America. It's just Coke still made with cane sugar. Poured it into a pot, let a good amount of it boil off, let it cool down, and you've got yourself some nice cane sugar cola syrup, of which we are also going to use 3/4 of an ounce. Now, like I said, New Era Dew takes inspiration from a lot of different places, and so instead of the typical lemon juice, I decided to take inspiration from somewhere else and go with some Yuzu Juice. Now, as I said when making the Robin, the flavor on the Yuzu Juice is very strong. A little bit of this goes a very long way. So instead of the 3/4 of an ounce, we're just gonna do 1/4 of an ounce of that Yuzu Juice. Now we're gonna go ahead and give this a quick stir just to mix it all together better. And since we've already got the cola syrup in there, we're gonna top it off with some ginger beer. And then we're going to garnish it with a lime wedge. And that is the 6th Street, or a New Era Dew iced tea if you want. Oh, that's so cool. It's sweet and citrusy. You get a good taste of the yuzu, but cutting that back, and with the triple sec and actually the ginger beer helping to hold it back, it's not nearly as upfront as it was in the Robin, for example. The syrup makes it still feel like it has Coke in it, but without so much of the flavor as to go, oh, you poured Coca-Cola on that. It's just that hint of cola, that feeling of cola. And that ginger beer is giving it a mild spice. And you can still taste the ginger, but much like how the yuzu is toned down, the Coke is toned down, it's not overpowering. The three of those are typically very strong flavors that in here are playing together very nicely, much like your team in Zenless Zone Zero. I came up with that one on the spot. And dare I say, it does kind of feel like a real iced tea. Until the ginger beer burn starts to kick in, but it is light and airy and crisp, almost kind of like you made an Arnold Palmer, but with yuzu and orange instead of lemonade. I am curious what this lime will do to it. Takes it up a notch, that's what it does. Okay, the lime has unlocked this darker note. It's not bassy, it's remaining crisp and refreshing, but you can now feel this darker note, kind of like a Coca-Cola with some lime in it. But like is the key word there. It still doesn't taste like Coca-Cola. It still doesn't taste overpoweringly of yuzu juice or of ginger beer or of, I almost said vodka. Vodka doesn't taste like anything. Of tequila, of rum, of gin, of triple sec. This is more than the sum of its parts. I can imagine a late night New Era Dew having one of these at a club, and it will get you drunk, but in that club drink kind of way where you don't really want to know it's doing so. It tastes like a fascinating new soda. If you could find a way to recreate that flavor without all the liquor, that would sell gangbusters. That is so delicious. That is approachable, pleasant, strong, but doesn't feel that way, and dare I say, fits New Era Dew perfectly. An aesthetic mashup from all around the world, inspired by something from New York City, with a taste from across the Pacific. I mean, honestly, taste that and tell me you're not on 6th Street. But what is a good drink without a good snack? So why don't we take a quick word from this video's sponsor. This video is sponsored by Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co., 2 Japanese snack boxes hoping to bring the taste of Japan right to your front door. Also, I did already record most of this segment, and then later found out that the mic was off. So, just ignore the fact I've already opened some of these snacks. Tokyo Treat is a monthly pop Japanese snack box that will bring you up to 20 exclusive, limited edition, and seasonal Japanese snacks that are only available in Japan for a limited time, including instant ramen and a drink. Summertime is in full swing, and we all know the best way to beat the heat is with a beach vacation. That's why this month Tokyo Treat invites you to one of Japan's most popular vacation spots, Okinawa. With tropical flavors and Okinawan favorites, this box will have you live in the island life from the comfort of your living room. Of course, we have the fantastic booklet full of information on Okinawa and all of the snacks that you'll find, including the all-important allergen information, and of course, the snacks. Now, in the lost footage, I already discussed how good these cookies and cream Kit Kats are. I mean, these alone are worth getting the entire box for. And as mad as I was about the lost footage, I'll take the excuse to eat more of them. I also already ate the saltwater donut. It was also very good. I always like to mention the allergen information in these booklets because I think that's important for safety reasons. For example, I'm actually mildly allergic to onion, and I don't like sour cream, but I am obsessed with sour cream and onion chips. And these ones, oh, they're so good. Have this fascinating texture and flavor. They're really kind of like sour cream and onion bugles. And if I don't stop myself, I am gonna eat the rest of that bag. Of course, you have your ramen. This month, it's an Okinawa-style wafu dashi ramen. That is probably dinner tonight. I guess I should eat at least one more thing since we don't have the footage of me eating the saltwater donut because for some reason I deleted that. I don't know why I did that. It was a moment of weakness and frustration. But now I have an excuse to try these water gummies. That is just so pleasant. And of course, I am the drink guy. You've seen me drinking this. This is Shikwasha soda. The booklet describes it as a mix between lime and orange. And they're not wrong. It's also really, really good. It's got the sour flavor of lime, but still the sweetness of orange. And I would argue also that kind of light feeling of a white grape. I mean, I need this in my life. I need this every day. I need to get my hands on a lot of it. If somebody knows how to do that, please send it to me. Meanwhile, Sakurako is a Japanese artisan snack box. While supporting local Japanese snack makers, this box will provide you with up to 20 authentic, traditional, and artisan Japanese snacks, including Japanese tea and a piece of Japanese tableware. And of course, it wouldn't be the summer in Japan without the festivals. That's why this month, Sakurako is inviting you to celebrate the festivals of Tohoku. Of course, you know how I feel about these booklets, and this one is no exception, with beautiful photos of the festivals around Tohoku, as well as the stories behind the snacks and their creators, as well as the information for all the snacks you'll find in the box. I mean, just look at that photo. Come on. Starting off strong with our piece of tableware, the Neko Tengui. This is so precious, I am in love with it. Ooh, a cream pun! I'm very excited for that one. Oh, this is a peach cognac jelly. Oh, this is the Ebi tempura. I love shrimp tempura. All right, you know where I'm starting, and that is absolutely going to be this cream pan. If you've never had cream pan, you are missing out. I could eat this for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All right, I gotta try the cognac jelly. I've been excited to try what cognac jelly is like, so really delicious, that's what. And one of these is only 15 calories? That's an awesome little snack then. All right, let's check out this matcha genmaicha. Okay. I mean, that takes me right back to Japan. I mean, if you love matcha, you are going to love this. But it's also reminding me a little bit of kind of coffee. It's a little bit bitter, but in that very refreshing kind of way. It sits right in the middle of the palate. Not too deep, but it's not too shallow either. Just kind of rests in the middle of your mouth and just makes you feel like you're at home. So thank you once again to Tokyo Treat and Sakurako for sponsoring this video and giving me some of the tastiest snacks I've had in quite a while. And if you would like to get either one of these boxes for yourself or as a gift, don't forget to check the links in the description or in the pinned comment and use code SEKAI at checkout for $5 off your first purchase. And now, back to the rest of the video. Alright, for this next drink, I mean, how are we going to do Zenless Zone Zero and not talk about the Bangboos? These adorable little bunny guys are pretty much the mascot of the game, so not including them feels kind of like a crime. And with how important they are to New Eridu, it makes total sense to me that they would end up with a drink named after them. And it's the perfect marketing. You walk around seeing Bangboos all day, you walk into the bar, what do you want? Of course, you want a Bangboo. And much like how there are many different types of Bangboo in the game, I've actually made this one drink quite a few different ways, and all of them were very good. I'm not going to bother putting up the recipe for each one. I'll just say the various different changes at the end. So pay attention if you want to do that. But the variation I chose for this video is mainly for the aesthetic of it. It was also the first one I made, and personally, I like some of the other ones better. I just think this one looks the coolest. And this is a video after all, so sometimes you gotta go for style over function. And this one is still good. They all still have the same basic flavor profile. It's just that a change here or there might make it more interesting to your particular palate. We're gonna grab our shaker, add in our ice. And this one's pretty easy to remember because it goes in descending order. 2 ounces of orange juice, 1.5 ounces of white rum. And here's where I need to pause, because the idea for this drink actually came from a pretty interesting place. One day, one of my coworkers brought in a bag of mixed jelly beans, and I grabbed 2 at random. And the first one I had was cinnamon. You should know by now, I'm a big fan of cinnamon, so I was very happy. But then I ate the second one right after and was shocked to find that cinnamon apparently goes very well with melon. I mean, who would have guessed? And I know what you're probably thinking. Cinnamon and melon, really? My coworker was the same way until I had him try the 2 back to back too. But I promise you it works. Like I said, I've made this drink several different ways and it always works together. Cinnamon and melon. And I never would have known if it wasn't for jelly beans. It just goes to show that you can really find inspiration for this stuff in a lot of different places. And that you shouldn't be afraid to branch out a little bit, because you might find some combos that you never would have dreamed of working, but end up being some of your favorites. So with that, we add 1 ounce of Midori melon liqueur, and finally, 1/2 ounce of Fireball. And I know I used Fireball again. It really wasn't my intention. I like to make it with something else I'll talk about later. It's just that the Fireball lends to the most aesthetically interesting one. We give it a nice hearty shake and strain it into our rocks glass. And you know what? I've got an idea. Let's garnish it with a cherry. And there you've got quite the friendly little fella, the Bangboo. Ooh, that is so good. I'm struggling to tell you what that tastes like. Now, after I discussed the melon and cinnamon thing with my coworker and ended up telling him the recipe I went with, he was shocked that the orange juice didn't overpower it. And you think it would. 2 ounces of orange juice seems like a lot. But in this case, the Midori is just strong enough to keep it in balance, where you get the sensation of orange juice, that ease of orange juice with the light flavor of the melon. It tastes almost primarily of melon, and there's less a heat from the cinnamon so much as there is the cinnamon flavor. It ends up coming off kinda creamy, actually. Which brings us to our first change, adding bourbon cream to the drink. Now if you do this, don't put the orange juice in. The orange juice will cause the cream to curdle. Actually inspired by the sponsorship in a past video, that melon cream soda was so good that I had to try it in here, and it worked very, very well, because if you remember in the Himiko, the bourbon cream and the cinnamon worked very well. So melon cream, cinnamon cream, it was delicious. Now if you're like me, and you like that dark rum, black rum, rum funk, doing that instead of the white rum, I liked quite a bit more. You actually can taste it. You get a little bit of that rum funk in there. In this, I don't really taste the rum at all. Nah, it's invisible. But if you do the black rum, then you do get to taste it. You do get a little bit of that rum funk. It makes for a much less interesting color, but I did think it tasted better. Similarly, along with the jelly bean idea, that same coworker and I started to talk about the idea of, well, jelly beans are just kind of a lot of sugar. So could you not just boil a bunch and make a simple syrup? And so this is a simple syrup I made by boiling down a bunch of cinnamon jelly bellies. It smells exactly like a box of hot tamales. It kind of just tastes like one too. If you want to go all out and make this, use it instead of the Fireball. I think it's quite a bit better. The cinnamon flavor is much more present than it is with the Fireball. But again, it doesn't make this fun color, and that's why I opted for this version instead of that one for the video. You can see a little bit of the cherry juice got down at the bottom. Maybe. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I can see it. I mean, that is just so delicious. It is citrusy sweet with the lightness of that melon and just that hint of cinnamon, which, like I said, don't be afraid of. These flavors go very well together. I mean, the simple fact that I have made at least 4 variations on this one drink, and the fact that the base is still always making sure it is melon and cinnamon, should go to show you that that flavor combo works. That even when I'm switching things up, it still works. If you want a mocktail version, you can surely find a way to make a cinnamon simple syrup that isn't necessarily boiling down a bunch of cinnamon candy, and then find a melon cream soda. Your best bet is most certainly somewhere that sells Japanese sodas, places like World Market or something. It's not typical grocery store common, but I feel like it is common enough in some places that sell international foods and candy and such. I mean, that is a small, peppy, happy drink with just a little bit of a kick to it that I think makes you feel just like a little Bangboo running down the street. If I could bite into one of those little robot bunnies, I think this is what he'd taste like. But alas, all good things must come to an end, and thus, so must this video. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video because I most certainly enjoyed making this one. I really love both of the drinks in this video, and I would love to keep talking about Zenless Zone Zero on this channel. So please like, comment, and subscribe to all of the YouTube things, and share this video around as much as you can, because I would love the excuse to keep talking about this game and making drinks for it. I am going to be obsessed with it. Whether it's character drinks or more drinks like these two that are more just for the world, I don't care. I just want the excuse. So please let me know if you did enjoy this, because I really did. And one last time, a huge thank you to this video's sponsors, Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co. Don't forget to use the code SEKAI at checkout for $5 off that first purchase. I really did mean it when I said those were some of the best snacks I've ever had. So seriously, don't miss out on that, and it does really help the channel. And don't forget, you can also become a member where you will get early videos, exclusive videos, all of the stream VODs. I try very hard to make it worth your while, and I have been streaming so much more that alone is worth it, because you will get all of those VODs if you happen to miss the streams. But again, if you can't or don't want to, that's fine. Like I said, liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing are all very helpful. So one last time, thank you again so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you and your Bangboo on 6th Street in New Eridu.